Hello, and good morning. So, let's go ahead and continue on with this run now, shall we? And actually, there's an interesting development as far as the series goes that I was hoping to talk about once more peoples get here, before I go and write an article about it, as per the usual. So, last time, stuff went a little bit rough, took a few injuries, did all that kind of thing, but on the plus side, we have stuff. We have stuff to sell. I think I finally have enough free cash laying around to just be able to go and actually get everybody upgraded as they need to be. So first off, let's go ahead and buy some. Well, we need more bows. Yeah, we need. Yeah, okay. So we have those. We need a couple of these because I know they were getting a little bit obsolete. Are we up to arbalests? Yeah, we are. So we already have a couple arbalests. I'm kind of considering picking up this. Yeah. So just in case, I might go sidearms and lobbers on my my middle archers next time. So we'll see. Anyway, aside from that, let's see. We have 11. We're gonna need more anyway, so I'm just gonna blow the budget on these. Well, we need 3. So let's see. Let's go ahead and sell all the obsolete stuff. Obsolete does not mean useless, but still. Right, let's get rid of that, get rid of that. It should be alright. We get more circlets throughout the game, so no real worry about doing those. But yeah, I want to buy a lot more of these rings here. I'll just buy as many as I can for now, because we're going to need to combine a few of them to make stuff later. Anyway, so moving on, we got the war rings on all of these guys. Yeah, we need more on these. Ooh, and we even got a ROM. So there we go. Let's put that on you. Yeah, if we can get rings of might and all that kind of thing, that is going to be a pretty major improvement. At least to most of these guys, since strength does kind of determine a lot of what they can do. But yeah. Okay, so you are arbalests. Yeah, a little bit of a slow morning today. One of those days where everything's just a little bit quiet, and whether that's a good or bad thing is entirely based on who's asking, I suppose. Okay, next we're going to need to go sell even more stuff, so we can't use any of these, so just sell it all. Just sell the lot of that crap. Can't have any casters this run, so we're going to need some gloves. Yeah, there we go. Ideally at least 4, so that'll work. Don't suppose there's anything else I can sell? Yeah, I can still sell some of these things. Gives a little bit more cash to work with. Now, I'm not going to be able to get gloves for everybody, but I will be able to get a good enough amount to get by here, so yeah, just short of buying all the way. You know what? Screw it. There has to be something else I can sell. Yeah. Old crossbows. There we go. I can get gloves for everybody. It's a good day. It's like a little Merry Christmas. So helmets, yeah, we have some helmets. Cuirasses, ideally, yeah, I'd like a bunch of those. Yeah, mail hauberks, and Balder armor, I don't have anyone that can actually use them. Chausses, same deal. Yeah, now let's get rid of these. I think these guys can use helmets, right? No, they can't. So I'll get rid of the helmets too. Screw it. Screw it, sell all the stuff. We don't need it. We'll friggin' go in like we are. Right, pick up another Targe, pick up, what was I going for here? I was going Nomads and Cuirasses on everybody. So, yeah, just shy being able to pick them up for everybody, but that's fine. Honestly, it's fine just sticking with leather on the longbow archers. They're probably not going to be running into anything serious, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, so longbow archers, generally speaking, you just want to keep them way the hell in the back, so no particular reason to worry about them. Sidearm guys, you are going to need the upgraded armor. Just because, yeah, they're kind of up in the business the whole time. In fact, I probably want to go leather leggings on these guys instead of going for crits. So there we go, we'll give them all this extra armor. They should be pretty decent as far as being skirmishers go. And then, yeah, these guys are probably going to get more as well, because they might need to put themselves into risky positions, but they do still need to be able to take those single-shot, you know, high chance of crit type situations. And yeah, Canopus is still shelved at this point. He will continue to be shelved because we cannot use any of those characters. Okay. So, Maverick the Griffin. Let's go ahead and save over that. And get some stories. All like, oh man, I sure love Griffins. They're pretty great. We did pretty alright. Why don't you go fly over to Phydock? Okay, we can't retreat from this one, so let's go ahead and get some of the rookies in here. Yeah, let's get Shade out. See what Griffins we want going. I want the at least last two of each team, since they haven't really gotten a whole lot of training this entire time. And yeah, let's actually get Hatch in here as well. Let's get the... Let's see, this one we need to... Yeah, we're going to need some skirmishers for this one. And let's get the longbows in. And that should be pretty good. Yeah, truth be told, I don't really tend to use crossbows that often. Just as a matter of personal preference. Typically, what I usually wait for is for rogues. And then, like, rogues can essentially come in with, well, with 200 crossbows just as well as archers can. Except they can kind of counter the negatives of them a little bit better, I feel. But there's no rogues on this particular run, just archers. So, let's go ahead and do this thing. So I'm going to put everybody to just shy of their maximum movement range. Basically what I want to do here, Guzin. And yeah, we accidentally ruined the Chaos Frame a little bit there. Basically you have a couple options for her, I forgot about that. And yeah, you get different reactions based off what you do. And missed out on one of the best lines in the game, which is like, what was it? Hang on, how does it go? It was like, oh yeah, don't I think it was like, don't stand too long in the sun, your heart's made of ice. And the response was something along the lines of, yeah, but it's also made of fire or some crap. Like, it's a weird comeback, but it's I don't know. It's like one of those nice little snappy moments. I was like when those happen. But alright. Moving the hell along here. Let's get all flappy-like. Yeah, we still not a whole lot of people coming in just yet. So we'll see that at some point. What I want to do is probably send... I'm going to send 3 of the Griffins after their healer, just to go deal with them and their nonsense. Then I'm going to go send... Ooh, what's this? What's this? What's this? It's my brother starting up a brewery in his house. Yeah, so, weirdly enough, turns out you can absolutely have a brewery in your house, and it's apparently not very difficult to do. Like, I'm not really much of a drinker myself, but either way, it was just really fun to hear my brother's stories on that kind of thing. This is, like, he's all about it. He's like one of those that knows every single type of brew and what makes them different and all that kind of thing. And then, yeah, so what ultimately ended up there is just like a situation where, sure enough, he can just make whatever he wants at home pretty much without limits right now. It's pretty awesome. Pretty freaking awesome. So yeah, downside of skirmisher builds, they're pretty inaccurate, but again, it's just kind of part of their role here. Generally speaking, they're there to kind of take out the middle units and squishies. So attacking a rogue, pretty much pointless with them. But I figured I might as well get them a little bit of extra sidearm experience. Why not? Alright, so Goosen has not engaged just yet, so let's try to get rid of some of these guys. At least start spreading around some damage. Okay, you're gonna peck, you're gonna go forward. You're gonna go for Goosen. Wow, he's got evasion for days. Thankfully that ended up landing. But it's fine, yeah, we're gonna have some difficulties in taking out this healer, I think. Talon Dive, yep. Come on, hit, no stun, unfortunately. That's fine, okay. Talon Dive, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. No problem. Yeah, healer dealt with. Hello there, Mr. Panman. Well, so far having a relatively, relatively quiet morning. It's a nice little change, but actually, and yeah, challenge run with a lot of birdies, but there was a cool thing that I was researching last night that I thought some folks might be interested in, which is, have you ever heard of the Lost Order? Like, as in, I saw a few people mentioning it not that long ago, and then, yeah, just wound up going and doing more research on it just to figure out if anything's actually changed since it was last heard about. But yeah, so it's like, how do you even put it? The long and short of it is, it was supposed to be kind of like a spiritual successor to FFT and Ogre Battle, kinda sorta. That's the weird part, like, they had basically everybody from both the games Like, they had the archers, wow. They had the author, they had the composers, they had the, friggin' everything. Like, they brought everybody in for this one. And then, yeah, they apparently were very close to release. They had, like, they had a tentative release date and everything. Everything seemed all well and solid. They did a closed beta and all that kind of thing, which, by the way, that's specifically what I was wanting to talk about. Because I found a video yesterday of one of the closed beta folks that actually put up a video. And yeah, sure enough, yeah, the thing was apparently playable. I wouldn't really say it's like any of the tactics games, to be completely frank. It's more like, I've seen a comparison thrown around to, like, Dragon Age, which, yeah, kind of like that. But anyway, at any rate, it was just an interesting thing that, yeah, it does exist. It's apparently still out there. Like, the question that was flying around was whether or not it was dead. Because, yeah, it's, hang on, did I ever turn on the mic? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I was gonna say, am I just talking to myself like an idiot? That would be a normal situation. But, what was I getting at here? Oh, crap, they still have a healer. Okay, well, we don't necessarily have to deal with them. That's fine. And yeah, early game summons coming in, not, a little bit on the painful side. Anyway, so yeah, it turns out, yeah, it is still live at this point. So that's the good news. Like, I was gonna go, like I said, do a whole write-up on the stuff that I found yesterday, but it didn't really have time to do that just yet. But yeah, so it is alive. That's the good news. Bad news is, yeah, it definitely does not look, at least I don't think it looks, like a lot of the rest of the series. Like, there's little bits and pieces in there. Like, interestingly enough, a lot of the screens that they use, a lot of the, just general UI and everything looks a lot like Let Us Cling Together. A lot of the... Well, that could have gone better. Dead. Well, a lot of the UI in general just, you know, looks like this game. A lot of the other aspects look a little bit like OB, kind of. But here's the thing. I think they went for, like, a class level kind of thing. It was in Japanese, so I couldn't really tell for sure. It kind of looked like they went for a class level type situation, and it also looked like, man, we can never... Yeah, I forgot about Dancing Maverick. Oh, that's too good. That's too good. Like, I've come to negotiate. Why such secrecy? Because we don't have a sprite. And yeah, he's basically saying, yeah, the Duke, kind of a douche. Would you like to take over? It's like, yes! Everybody will be airplanes. So then we take over. Okay, so then we have, I believe this is the Vice fight, so... due to the fact that it's a pretty divisive thing... Oh man, I'm just gonna shut up. Okay, getting back to it. So, looks like it still exists, so that's the nice part. Yeah, let's see if we can actually recruit Vice. Oh no, we're gonna be able to recruit Vice, that's no question on that one. Aerosol, yeah, it would be interesting to be able to recruit her. Heck. And we can actually get her surrounded right from the get-go, I believe. Yeah, having flying units in this one it just turns it into a joke. Yo, Peck, you're kind of having a bit of a bad time. I think we actually just leveled up Anatomy. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, we only had a few fights, we're only at level 10, and yeah, we already have Anatomy up at level 2, just to give you an idea of how fast stuff levels now. It's pretty dandy. Stuff actually goes up at a reasonable rate. For human beings, it's great. Yeah, can't really do much against him, and again, we don't really have healing, so... whatever. This is functionally like the no healing run. We have the ability to fly, but we have no ability for anyone to recover, except for with items, and those guys can only move 3 tiles, so basically no healing run. Except for Kashua, but whatever, we can't actually fire her, so she's just kind of there. I'm not going to say no. Okay, so like I said, Lost Legion, not Lost Legion, actually, that would have been a really cool name for it, but Lost Order. It, unfortunately, either fortunately or unfortunately, you know, kind of take your pick on that one, it actually is a mobile game. So, yeah, like I was saying earlier, like, it would be cool to see the Ogre Battle formula put into a mobile game, because it kind of would fit really well on that format. Especially having played the originals on a phone, it does work pretty well. Like, it's a formula that works pretty darn well, and the idea seemed similar, like including a little pause button that you had on the menu there. Is this gonna hit? No, that's gonna hit our guy. Oops. Yeah, including like a little pause thing to stop and give orders and let the fight continue. Think of it more like you have like a small squad of units, and they're doing the usual, like 5v5 or whatever else kind of thing. But then essentially you have them, you're kind of doing the whole real-time picking where they go thing, and they just slowly trudge toward wherever you want them to go. Like, it looked alright. Like, that's really what I can say about it. It looked alright. Definitely did not look like a direct answer to anything else in the series. Definitely didn't seem like it was going to be the thing that brought everything back, but it's possible. The weird part is, so like I was saying, actually what I failed to say earlier, it's of all things. Oops. Well, she's dead. Anyway, she dead. All right, let's get out of here. So, man, I'm just going all over the place with my topics here today. So the weird part is, when it comes to their development and all that, it was actually made with Platinum, of all people. So if you don't know who they are, essentially they're the ones that tend to come in and make a really obscure series into really awesome games. So like if, like for example, Nier, that thing was pretty darn niche as all hell. Platinum came in, gave it their ridiculously shiny treatment, and then Automata came out, and it was amazing. Then you have, ooh, we want to take a rando. I think we kind of want to take a rando. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. Let's put a couple of these away, let the sidearm users get a little bit of a thing. And yeah, let's do this thing. But yeah, so I was really surprised to find out that Platinum had a hand in it. I'm assuming, based off how many things they've been working on lately, probably the reason that it kind of just went dead silent after the beta was, I mean, they already stated that they had stuff that they were polishing up about it. I'm assuming what probably happened is that they probably needed Platinum to do certain things, and then they basically got swamped with a whole bunch of projects. At least that'd be, like I said, my theory on it. If anybody knows anything more on the whole thing, that'd be nice to know. But yeah, as far as I can tell, last August they kind of just went silent on the thing after the beta, and then there was a shareholder meeting at some point in which somebody finally got an answer out of somebody, in which they more or less said, yeah, we're just quietly working on it in the background, it still exists, we still have all the same people on it, it hasn't died or anything. It's just kind of there. Although there is another unfortunate thing that we may not necessarily see it in the States. As in, apparently there was a discussion over whether or not it actually is going to make it stateside, because they're trying to make it like a full-fledged release. And, well, those apparently, at least in their opinion, don't seem to hold up super well as far as our side goes. I mean, I can kind of see that, truth be told. Like, I was really worried. Looking at all the FF games that, like, for example, I have a cousin of mine that loves playing those, and they look boring as hell, I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, hey, pick your units, and then they're just gonna mash against each other for like half an hour, and then you push a button and you get a loot box. And it's just like the weird kind of hamster cage mentality to the whole thing. But anyway. Interestingly enough, they do seem to have permadeath on those. Like it's a little bit surprising how much difficulty there seems to be in those things. Though, again, they're kind of just putting together a team and hoping they do stuff, and it's all super over dramatic and over the top, and if I'm being honest, a little bit depressing to look at, because it's like one of those cases where they have people like really hamming it up for the acting and everything. It's like they're making it way too dramatic, they're taking it way too seriously. Like, dude, there's some, like, chick that looks like she belongs in middle school or something over here. Just, like, sounding like they're trying to sound like the lady from Terminator. It's like, this does not mesh at all. This doesn't make any sense. But, anyway. So that's kind of more or less where all that goes. So hopefully there will be, hopefully there will be more news on that thing at some point. But at least they said in one of the interviews, like they had Matsuno in on one of the interviews, and they're like, okay, so we're making a mobile game, but we're trying not to make it like a mobile game. Was more or less what he was hinting at. That it was like, okay, we're trying to make it, as he put it, a higher quality than you usually see for mobile games. So I take it as we're trying not to make the usual hot garbage you see everywhere. So there's that. Anyway, let's go deal with this stupid healer man. Yo, javelins. Oh yeah, we lost a longbower, that's a bit of a problem. Should still be manageable, though. Might just retreat out of this after a little while, actually. Yeah, you know what? I don't like this particular theme. We're going to go ahead and skip it. In fact, I think we're going to go back to the Warhawk OST. I liked that last time. I think it's pretty darn catchy. But yeah, that was the XCOM 2 one. I was hoping to get to the Interceptor theme, but we didn't quite get there. So, oh well. Alright. Go ahead and get this up a little bit, and there we go. That should sound good sound-wise. Yeah, I need to start using Tremendous Shot a little bit more. God dang it, lady. Stop taking our loot. Friggin' AI, always taking our loots. There we are. Hopefully everything's coming in okay sound and everything else wise. Because, yeah, the usual thing of people coming and going. More than likely it's, well, kind of the standard, let's be honest. Standard of everybody comes and goes for a while until there's a flood of like 12 people or something. And then some of those go, and then some more come in, and then it winds up around 8 usually. As you do. As you do. Man. What was it about old PS1 games that had... Like, there was something about whatever sounds they had available to them. Man. Just so many soundtracks are so amazingly good. Like yesterday, I was going on about the Vagrant Story soundtrack, and it is just unreasonably good. Just unreasonable, absolutely unreasonable. Like if you ever wanna have amazing background music for doing anything, just like look up the Grand Cathedral theme. Just like that is gonna get you friggin' hyped up for anything. Funnily enough, it's actually one of those few cases where there's a lot of covers of them, but honestly, even a lot of the better cover artists out there, I honestly feel they weren't even as good as the original. Just because there was something about that particular set of sounds that they used that was just, I don't know, it was really something else. Let's have you go after this little chuckle boy over here. Now we're about to lose one of our archers. Would rather that not happen. Go, let's get rid of you, pick up some loot. If these guys charge forward, they should be able to get one turn off. So as long as they go forward. Let's see. When is this guy's turn? Yeah, so each of my frontliners, or I have another? I guess I do have another. So yeah, each of them should be able to get one turn off. Come on. Come on with these 70%. Should be able to contribute at the very least. I already know this one's not going to contribute to the fight. If we end up not finishing the fight, oh well. Actually, do I have evacuations? Yeah, I do. You know what? Screw it. I do want to get the experience out of this fight, so let's get them out of here. And not enough stuff uses sweet guitar riffs. Like, it's funny, one of those themes that just, like, does it for me every single time. Like, if you've ever played New Vegas, the theme that they play for the, oh, dang it, they took out that guy. One of the... Wait a minute. Oh, no, wait, he did get evacuated. For a second there, I thought he got revived or something. Anyway, one of the themes it just does for me every time is, like, they just have one of the background themes that tends to play in all the NCR areas, and they have this one little bit in there, like, it's relatively quiet desert music almost throughout. And then just like in the middle of it, there's just like wow, 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 kind of just like riff in the background, just like every single time. Yes, Like, that is exactly what I wanted. It's just like happiness in the brain every time that comes up. Alright, moving on. We still have not managed to secure a Griffin or Cockatrice legit through the story. Maverick rise against us! We didn't pay the mercenary fees, now they're coming to get us. Alright, let's bring in the crossbows for this one. Actually, let's bring in the veteran chickens as well. Actually, you know what? No, let's get rid. Yeah, let's get rid of the crossbows actually, and bring in all the griffins. Yeah, this looks pretty all right. Seems pretty doable. There's no secondary old lady this time. Just this guy. I wish I knew why people were coming and going, but nobody ever shares that information. Well, so we have one turn for a quick setup. So he's going to move forward, they're going to move their guys forward. All that rampart aura is friggin' adorable, because, yeah, doesn't really do very much. Weirdly enough, I wonder if it's possible to make teleport not affected by rampart aura. Because, yeah, it's odd that it does that. So if you didn't know, yeah, even if you teleport, you basically just have a situation where your rampart aura and all that will easily block somebody that's teleporting. It feels really weird in some cases. Like, really, really weird. It's like, okay, here's this all-powerful wizard guy, you know, can teleport through walls, can friggin' teleport 100 feet in the air. But it's like that guy stared at him angrily and then just all his powers disappear. Maybe he's just really, really self-conscious or something. Like he just feels bad every time somebody judges him. And that's all that Rampart Aura is, they're just being really, really judgy. I mean, in previous games they always had to be of lawful alignment, so they're probably pretty judgy just out of the gate based on that. I mean, seems reasonable enough. Alrighty. So, you guys are just going to go ahead and practice. Honestly, this is the only reason that I brought my sidearm guys. They can go ahead and practice on the golems. Actually, they can do a pretty decent chunk of damage to them, too. At least far more than most of your melee guys could in vanilla. Alright. Let's get all you flyboys up there. I usually find that skipping the last tile when moving forward tends to give them just enough recovery time to be able to take a second turn a little faster. So I'm not going full movement range on a lot of them. It's just like, it's just that very, very right mix of, like, just not quite enough to make them go waste all their stuff, but just enough to be a little bit helpful, you know? So what's everybody up to today? Anybody doing anything interesting for the start of the year? Are you starting any weird diets, since apparently everybody's on a diet now because it's New Year's and that's what we do? It's our tradition in the States. Everybody pretends that they're going to get healthy this year. And then it's just like a week later, everybody's already ditched their diet and everything else. Okay, so yeah, these guys are going to get completely torn apart, but that's kind of the intention here. I want them to eat all these moves, eat all these punches and everything else, get all their points up, and then each of them should have at least 50 points, which will then allow them to go take Chuckle Boy out here without any real problems. There we go. This will be just short, probably. Or no, actually it did hit. Go figure. Go figure, I guess it was fine that time. This one might... even a crit, wow. Alright. The game's being nice today. It's actually very realistic that we might potentially finish the rest of this run today. Which is kind of my intention. So, we'll see how that goes. 80. That one's also 80. Everything's 80. 80s for everybody. Peck you in the face. Didn't get pecked in the face. Although probably this, I would assume everybody would probably stop trying to fight this group after a while. Like, man, everybody that tries just winds up getting eaten by birds. It's really gruesome, actually. We're going in! I love that he actually keeps his look for that one. I expected him to revert back. Hello there, Mr. Evan. No diets I'll remain a fatty. I'd have to actually try to become fat, actually trying to gain weight. Dang. See, actually trying to gain weight, good problem to have. Like, I know that seems like oh, haha, you know, easy problem to have, but I mean, like, legitimately. Okay, to explain, like, obvious stuff aside, there's kind of a funny thing where my wife always gets mad at me because you know, whenever we do this whole diet thing, I have a tendency to just like drop down to a normal weight in a couple weeks, and she ends up having a bit more difficulties with it, and that's just basic physiology. Like, honestly, if you're a guy, it's easier to a pretty absurd degree in most cases to actually move stuff. But yeah, no. But yeah, what was I getting at here? So yeah, it's a lot, definitely a lot more convenient to actually have to gain weight, only because of strain on your bones and muscles and all that kind of thing. Like, honestly, the only reason that I was kind of pitching the idea, I forget which one of us was pitching the diet thing, but either way, the only reason that we were both pitching the whole diet thing is like I have to go and do squats and pick up the kids and everything else all day, so it has been friggin' ravaging my knees the last like few months or so, ever since we did the last little diet thing. It's like, man, it has legitimately become just painful walking around at times. So generally want to see that getting fixed. But yeah, so you should focus on rating people similar or slightly bigger than you when you do ratings. Well, I will do so, but I seriously don't know of any. I know of, like, let's see. I know of Kane Strider, but I know his stuff is never at the same time as mine. I know there was Bob Cramhole, which unfortunately he found out that he could get views from doing COD Bluffs, and he's been doing that ever since. So he discovered how to get views. So let's see. Aside from that, there's a couple folks that were doing vanilla, but I don't know when they're up. Oh, no, actually no. There's what's his face? I have to look up his name. There's a guy that was doing a vanilla run. I should. What's his name? Where's my Discord? Dang it! Here it is. Yeah, Rix was telling me about him, and yeah, went to go watch his run, and it was pretty darn solid. I gotta say. Okay, seriously, computer, stop. Computer's being all weird and anything. Okay, so here is dude. There's dude. Where's dude? What's his face? Sorry, trying to... You know what? I'll find his name later. We'll go for like a cutscene or something. There we go. Let's go for some aerial resonance. Which, by the way, the reason that aerial resonance actually works for these guys now is only because of this right here. So the fact that they have the assault token, it's basically the only reason that that they're able to do what they do. It's a slight change, but it ended up more or less fixing monster units. Because A, it allowed them to be a little bit more controlled when it came to scaling, and B, it's created a situation where they can actually make use of all those resonances that they had absolutely no point for before. Like, they're literally like, hey, check it out, I got this air buff. Can you use it? No. It was kind of a bummer. It's all sad and everything. Yeah, I think Discord is being weird. I'm trying to... What is his name? What is your name? Hang on. Hang on. I know it's up here somewhere, dang it. You know what? I don't know why I'm even looking through this. You know what I should be doing? Should be checking the people that I was following. Find more people to follow? Well, I'm trying to. I don't really get that much time to watch a lot of them is the problem. It's like I barely have enough time to do this thing in between the bajillion other things I do during the day, so trying to fit it in there. Figure it's one of those things that might be something over time. Anyway, somehow we got a poison off on Marino. Honestly, I'm a little bit confused as to how we pulled that off. I'm assuming they were probably poisoning our guys and then hit their own guy, and it's basically going to cause them to lose the fight, so whatever, I'll take it. Thank you, amazing AI. Yeah, that being said, like, oh, did I do a poison breath? I don't think I did a poison breath. Yeah, amazing AI or not, yeah, the original Japanese version had different AI, which was again, better, and I think most folks here already know about this whole thing, but it's like the AI was better, but it wasn't better. Like, it's like one of those things where it was technically smarter, but it was just really annoying, like, in terms of how it did everything. Like, oh yeah, it's smarter, it holds position, it uses buffs, and then it takes it one step too far, because of course it does. So they were like, oh, you know, let's go ahead and use friggin' True Strike on this caster. They're totally going to use it. Funnily enough, that would be useful in the mod, not so useful in the actual base game. They're like, oh man, I'm going to go super accurately whack somebody for 1 damage with this stick. And glitching Dunham's the best. Like, I went from glitching to sad. Okay, this, however, I don't know how we're going to win this one. So, yeah, the one-on-one, I didn't really think about this one. It would have been nice, actually. You know what I probably should have done is probably should have gone full Chaos. Then I would have had the option of bringing in everybody else. What can we learn? I mean, he's got a good amount of points. The thing is, he doesn't have any recovery. Not Augment Air. Let's see. We might just be able to outdo him with speed. If there's anything recovery-wise that I can do. Just a War Ring. There's only 1 assault token, so there's no point in checking that. Thinking maybe Bash might help. Counter 2 he doesn't have the level for just yet. He might go for a Poison Finisher. So it might be good to have Poison Ward. Just because he's already going to be a little bit low on stuff. There we go, let's go for Poison Ward. Anything else we want to check on here? Maybe, is there room for Bash? Not point-wise. I'm going to go for Augment Air, but it won't really be enough of a thing at this point. So hopefully he's going to be fast enough to just multi-turn this guy like crazy. Let's see. So it costs a lot of money to gain health, it is free to lose weight. I am poor. Depends. It's not necessarily always the case. Oh, actually, no wait, there is healing. I forgot, we have help on this one. But yeah, not necessarily always the case. I mean, look at CrossFit. 90% of it is just like... You're basically just going and like lifting friggin' tires and crap. Like, a lot of them are just designed after stuff you could find in the junkyard. Yeah, this isn't as bad as I thought, actually. It's fine. We got this. He's over here trying to talk to him repeatedly. Let's go for Talon Dive. Dive them talons! Weight gain, at least good. The weight gain is 90% diet, so he's not wrong. Yeah, it all depends on how you're doing it. Like, if, honestly, I think some of the best dieting I've ever seen was while utterly broke. Like, and again, this is... Oh, right. Poison Ward does not stop Venom. Why doesn't Poison Ward stop Venom? Is there a Venom Ward? I forget. I mean, fair enough. I forgot that it's added Venom. Why can't I remove Venom, dang it? Whatever. Aerial Resonance. We'll just go ahead and put a little bit of an air buff on him. He's become air buff. He's like air bud, but he's got wings, I guess. And stuff like that. Oh yeah, there is a Venom Ward. Yeah, I forgot about that. You know, you'd think with how much I played the mod in both versions that I'd actually remember some of these things, but I think it's fair to say that my memory is absolute hot garbage. Like, I've literally written the guide on this thing, and I forget that there's a Venom Ward. Oh well, that's just life for you right there. There we go, peck away at him, and yeah, fight's done. And this is how dang fast they are. He can just double turn him after taking a long move. Oh, well fought. He's like, oh, well fought, I think you mean delicious, and then he just like rips off his helmet and bites his head off. Yeah, Venom Ward, probably a bit more useful than Poison Ward. Alright, so, didn't get anything out of that. I think it's fair to go chuck this class up to 11. Again, we're still looking at the same weird thing from last time, because yeah, if you cheat in, just to reiterate this, if you cheat in monster units without having first recruited them in some manner, and by the way, that was the Kashua pulling the idiot ball scene, namely the, hey, we just won the war, I'm gonna go ahead and friggin' run away now scene, so, you know, the friggin' smart crap right there. But yeah, if you end up cheating in monster units, but you don't end up recruiting them legit, they can't gain levels until you do get them legit. So, what we're gonna do here is I have a couple guys that learn Subdue. Actually, I think I have one guy that learned Subdue. That's enough. That's enough. So, we've got Shade. Basically, we need to get him a Griffin. So that's what we're gonna do. We've got Adventurer's Gap right here. We need a Griffin and we need a Cockatrice. So we'll get Shade in here. We're gonna get the full Archer squad because I need to be able to kind of control the damage output here, as well as focus fire. So we'll do that, and let's put Viewfighter in here because I guess we. No, you know what? Let's have Viewfighter instead, because I believe they're the one with Stone Breath. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find that guy I was talking about, though. Oh yeah, there we go. Suddenly the Discord thing remembered. Suddenly remembered where everything is. Why in the actual crap is it doing that? Like, so the desktop app for yeah, No Way, that was the guy's name, NOWEA. So I need to remember to have that up for next time. In fact, let me just type it in there because I probably won't be typing it in there later. So let's see. /raid No Way. I don't know if they're even doing anything right now, but at some point they might be. So yeah. Alright, so right now, okay. So what I want to do is, yeah, we're going to try to probably finish off the rest of the map before getting that guy. If I can maybe pelt him down a little bit, that might help. Ideally, I want their archers gone because we are very, very weak to archers at this point. It's actually an almost vanilla experience right now as far as being terrified of archers full-time, so I want to go ahead and try and deal with them. So yeah, going through vanilla recently, it's kind of interesting how they tried to balance archers. Like, as much as it oftentimes seems like they just kind of let them have complete free reign over all the balance at all times, it's kind of interesting how, yeah, with both accuracy and the fact that so many units carry around Deflect, they tried. And I kind of wonder if they thought it was enough. Like, maybe they thought there was more stuff that could be done there. Interestingly, they even tried to counterbalance Dragoons at some point of all things, because I guess they figured that those were overpowered as well. Because if you're going through a bunch of the temples and everything, not all of them, but a lot of the bosses are actually classed as fairies, which, I don't know, usually they were so little of a challenge I never even noticed that before, but this time I was running kind of a janky setup. And sure enough, it's like, wow, there's actually a lot of boss fairies, just so that they don't get affected by Dragon Slayer or Beast Slayer. And then, you know, you get all the rest of them that just get one shot immediately. So, who knows what happened there. But yeah. So, we got archers doing their usual plank here. Let's get you doing one of these. That should be enough to finish him off. Yeah, okay, poison didn't proc, so not going to be enough to finish him off. Unfortunately. Let's go ahead and just pew pew. There we go, he's done. That's him out of the way. So yeah, our only goal right now is just recruiting that Griffin. So what I'm going to do right now is retreat, because we kind of lost our recruiter. I have zero idea why exactly I put Subdue on one of my crossbows instead of one of my skirmishers, because those guys can actually take a hit. But, you know, whatever. Just because I wrote a whole bunch of stuff about it doesn't mean I'm necessarily the best at it, dang. But, okay, let's try this again. They did spawn in with a Griffin, so we're actually just going to hold tight here. Just going to hold position and do the usual thing. Let's go ahead and... Okay, I hit the completely wrong tile, but he hit anyway, so... Good enough, good enough. And 25% accuracy, that means a crit hit, of course, you know. Just naturally how RNG goes. Just how it goes every time. Always with the RNG. RNG is a fickle douche. Alright, so. He's probably going to go in and go for one of his big moves. That's good. Thankfully, they don't scale with OV, so it's not as terrifying as it could be. Anyway, everything just bounced off his face, so not too great. Thankfully, their evasion is pretty crazy high. And apparently our evasion is pretty crazy high as well, so good deal. It seems like they came in with... why did that guy come in with a great bow exactly? Or a warbow? It's odd. I guess he's broke. That's fine. Okay, one longbow shot is a bit too much. Let's go pow that guy. Okay, what about you? That's still gonna kill? Yeah. So I guess we're just gonna have to settle for that. What about javelins? Is that gonna be... yeah, of course that's gonna be more... well, not entirely more damage. Wait a minute. Do I have rotation? Okay, no, he hasn't moved yet. I'm just being an idiot. There we go. I thought Shade had potentially moved and missed his subdue chance. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna punch him, get that 5 damage, or 4 damage, whatever. Subdue 60%! Oh yeah, get leveled, Griffins. So suddenly, we have Griffins. So now we need to fight through to the, I like to call it the Swordmaster Den. I forget the actual name of the place. But it's the one with all the Swordmasters and Cockatrices and all of that some suchery. It's going to be a little bit difficult to fight through this map, but whatever. You do as you do, I suppose. Nice part is, we can actually just retreat. If we wanted to, we could retreat right now, but we do still have kind of an upgraded complement at this point. There's not much of a reason to do so. Let's have you move over here. Keep you on these healers back here. They did spawn in with 2 of them. A little bit on the scary side, but still manageable. As long as they stop blocking everything. Why are you so good, healers? They're actually not as good as they seem, but they will be better in later patches. Yeah, there's actually sort of... I don't know if it's fair to call it a kind of a upgrade for them coming at some point, but he did mention that, yeah, they're going to come in with their proper builds more often. Because, yeah, the few times that you do see them come in with their full complement of all their armor and everything else, like, it's pretty reasonably good. I should point out, by the way, that it kind of does self-counter. So usually the immediate thought is, oh crap, they're coming in with, with more armor, they're going to be tougher to deal with. It does slow them down, though. So, yeah, that's kind of where all that stands. Why did this stop auto-playing? There we go. It's because one of the tracks, and only one of the tracks, in the entire soundtrack that's posted up all over the dang place, got copyrighted. Of course. And I think it was, what was it? I think it was a Canyon Zone Part 2 for some reason, of all the themes. Though that being said, it's not unusual. For example, if you ever go through this game, every time that I ever allow the intro to play, the entire thing gets copyright struck. However, if I go ahead and don't do that, none of the other themes do. Like, honestly, I would have figured Faraway Heights, of all things, would have had an issue. Like, I have an entire video of just playing that. Because it's... dude, that theme is amazing. But yeah, weirdly enough, that doesn't apply in that case. Oh, by the way, actually, speaking of, I mentioned Deflect earlier. That's another thing that's... I don't know if I'm supposed to mention it yet, but that's another thing that apparently is confirmed to be working for the next patch whenever it happens. So you can have parry and deflect at the same time. So stuff's pretty darn nifty-like. Alright, do I wanna... we might end up retreating here, because it's just this team is not ideal for it. What I probably want to do is just bring in the entire complement of Griffins right now. That might end up screwing my levels around a little bit, but we'll see. It's just, yeah, for the archers and stuff like that. We're making progress, but we're kind of taking hits as quickly as we're doing that. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, ClickBank, you want to let me know about stuff? Gee, that would be handy if they actually did things. So yeah, if you're at all familiar with affiliate marketing, you've probably heard of ClickBank before. Man, gotta say, bit of a disappointment. I heard so many things about it. Then I went and tried it out, and it's like 1,000,001 different shady schemes people have come up with. And they're like, hey, we'll give you like $1 if one of these sells. It's like, okay, but how exactly do you expect some of this crap to sell? Like, just ridiculously shady stuff. Like, oh yeah, here's this system that lets you know how to mathematically crunch friggin' slot machines. Like, I'm sorry, why was this recommended for a friggin' blog about ridiculously niche stuff that has nothing to do with gambling whatsoever? Maybe because I had RNG in one of the tags. Huh. Actually, that could very well be it now that I think about it. Alright, that guy needs to go, because I'm sick of this berserk crap. Repeatedly beating the hell out of us here. Oh man, so recently, like, I thought I'd seen some of the more insane stuff as far as, just as far as where different balance stuff might wind up for the original and all that. So recently, like, I was mentioning this last time, but recently had gone through the Hanging Gardens, and I completely forgot about floor 10 of the Hanging Gardens. Like, you go through 15 floors, and then, like, you go through 15 floors of San Bronze, you get to Hanging Gardens, and then it's like, okay, suddenly we're gonna raise the level cap by 10, and yeah, in vanilla, there's just nothing you can do about it. I apparently, when going through the dungeon and all that in OB, like, I just never really realized what had happened. But then, yeah, when it was going through vanilla, and it's suddenly like, hey, suddenly nobody can dodge anymore. Suddenly nobody's evasion matters. Suddenly no one can do damage except for archers because they're omniscient, or just omnipotent in every possible way. They're probably omniscient. I don't see why it wouldn't be in their skill set, given everything else they can do. But yeah, it's like friggin' rookie archers are able to do over 100. Like, veteran soldier guys that have been with my party from the very start and have ridiculously high stats and everything. They do like 8, because they don't have the right weapon. It's like, it's not a longbow or a crossbow or a katana, so it doesn't do damage. There's just 0. Frickin' Lombardio with double slash, yeah, you've done 16 damage, congratulations! It's like, but this is a friggin' super weapon! No, it isn't. Does it have a string? Does it shoot little sticks? Then no, it's not a super weapon. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's so weird because yeah, I'm pretty sure vanilla was balanced for roleplay value over other things because I've been going deep into all of that lately, trying to find all of like all the little bits and pieces that I might have missed before. Like I know it's weird to look at it as a puzzle, but it's just everything about that game had so many bits that, like, I want to know. Like, I wish that there was an interview somewhere where they went, like, fully into every single little detail of why they did everything. Because there's so many little details that are just like, why is this here? Kind of thing. And really the best conclusion I can come up with is yeah, you know what, if we can recruit a griffin, whatever, they're in. The best conclusion I can come up with, by a mile, is just, yeah, it's all there for roleplay value. Because, yeah, a lot of those things do make sense for roleplay value, like rogues with their traps and everything. They weren't good at all, but they make sense for roleplay value. So, you know, that kind of thing. Would be interested to know what other folks thought about that kind of situation. Alright, let's get all the cockatrices in here. This is a job for the power chickens. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna have the raid thing up for that No Way guy, by the way. I have zero idea if he's gonna be doing anything today. No idea whatsoever. I don't know when he's on or whatever else, but you know what? I figure it might be something that would be interesting to do. Hang on. Let's go ahead and duplicate this thing, and then go back, and then, yeah, there we go. I figured out how tabs work. I did a brain. So yeah, cockatrice is pretty okay against dragons. Griffins technically hit harder, but the thing is, yeah, these guys with all their breath moves are just gonna be stronger for shutting them down. And if you get poison on one of them, you can just kind of leave them alone for a while. There we go. Okay. Let's just move you here, and actually no, let's move you, go take out this guy. Bummer. Probably should have included hydras in this. Maybe I will include hydras in this. Just because I really want an excuse to use hydras. Actually, you know what, no, after this, like, I think maybe the next one, we've got this, we've got the mermaid run, we've got, somebody wanted to see a reattempt of the Scrooge run. We've got a whole bunch of different stuff. But yeah, a Hydra-only run might be pretty interesting. Because yeah, if you've never tried them in OV, they're actually quite a bit different. They're more or less like a dragon version of a berserker now, which is pretty darn cool, all things considered. There we go. And you've got Talon Dive. Yeah, there we go. Should be no problem with these dragons. No problem whatsoever. Although they are kind of eating my one guy up there, and I don't have any way to evacuate anyone. So that might be a little bit of a consideration. Poison would finish that one off, but would be better used against this guy. Leave somebody with a Talon Dive over to deal with him. Didn't get the poison off. Assault. Yeah, actually, I played that wrong for sure. Okay, poisoned, and let's get you the hell out of here. Wish I had Stone Breath on you, but apparently I don't. So, whoops. Also, funnily enough, it keeps flashing between 3 to 5 people here. I'm not sure what that's about, but that's kind of the usual stuff that Twitch seems to love to do. It's like, there's so many here. There's none. It's like, there's 20, there's 1, there's 3, there's 80. It never went up to 80. That's a total farce. That would be insane! Why would 80 people consecutively ever watch this? But yeah. So lots of different runs and articles and all that kind of thing planned coming up. So we'll see when it's actually possible to get to those. Funnily enough, yeah. What did he just do? Oh, he was stunned. That's what it was. Whatever. Half asleep today. Slept like 2 hours last night, so whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Polybos. So this is called The Dragons Came In for Their Chicken Dinner. Winner, chicken dinner, etc. So he's gonna get a turn before the poison kills him, so we're gonna do that. You go ahead and finish this one. Thankfully, everything is pretty darn fast with this run. It's all quick and snappy like, that's why I wanted to do it. So everything's all crazy fast. Okay, what are your odds of petrifying this fairy? Because I definitely like them out of the picture. 40%? That's awful. How about petrifying that one? Good. Good. I think their petrification's 50%. I'm not 100% certain on that. But it feels like it's 50%. And he did follow a lot of stuff that was more or less the norm for the series, so 50% would make sense, considering how many actually did have 50% as the stun rate, or as the petrification rate. But yeah. Actually, in one of the versions of March of the Black Queen, they nerfed it into the ground completely. Like, I think they put it down like 15% or so. Yes, we got a horn. Not that we're ever going to use it, but it's there. Ooh. And actually, one of the kiddos is asking for a bit of breakfast at the moment, so I will be stepping away right as soon as they finish eating up this fairy here. Turns real quick, everybody do your stuff, please miss, and stops. Fantastic. We are going to take an injury or two. You should be able to finish this one off. Yeah. Poison for some reason. Talon Dive, no, you have Petro Breath. Okay, whatever. They were on that one. Didn't re-petrify. Okay, Viewfinder's still alive, though. Should have checked if anybody's still alive here. Oh. Well, Lightning's dead. That's a shame. That's the first casualty of the run. Okay, go ahead and go for this one. Nothing too fancy going on here. Come on, there we go. Dead. Go take that card. Hopefully we get one more attack off before they end up dying. Come on, hit it. Go. Good. Didn't... Well, I mean, we got some stuff. Not ideal, and we took a casualty, but whatever. Our numbers are still the same as they were before. This one will be a bit of a challenge, though, because we got undead stuff going on. So, let's get Maverick in here, and let's get everybody with 1 life out of here. Because there's a good chance we're going to have to make some concessions. We're going to need crossbows, because we need long-range hidden power. There we go. And I will be right back. Alrighty, and back. Sorry for the long pause there. Out of curiosity, how long have I had my mic off? Because I just noticed when going and wrapping this thing up here that, that apparently I've had that thing off for a while. Not sure what that's all about, because, I thought I thought there were people responding and everything. But apparently I was wrong or whatever, so... Actually, let's get some freaking Vagrant Story music. Nope. Why is that? No, that's not the thing I clicked on. As awesome as that probably would be. Where is it? Here it is. I'm gonna get some Vagrant Story in here. There we go. Oh, god dang it, Grammarly, go away! No. No, I don't care. Thank you, Mr. Sushi Guy. I know, you come up every 5 seconds. It's kind of annoying, I'll be honest. Okay, there we go. Attempt 50. Let's do this thing. Yeah, it's an incompetent fustercluck. What can you do? Any dang way, so. What are we doing here? So, first off, crossbows. Crossbowing down these boys right here. Long and short of it is, yeah, these Skeletors and all that, they gotta be crossbowed down. I don't have anybody that can use holy water at this point, and I don't have any with me. So, yeah, the fact that they're attacking us is a bit of a bummer. Weirdly enough, depending on your... This is one of the few cases where apparently depending on your Chaos Frame is what decides whether or not these guys attack you. Yeah, apparently, what was it? I think... Or Galactani? Yeah, I think if you have a high Galactani Chaos Frame, they will actually just join you in this fight. You still have to kill them, unfortunately, but yeah, they will join you. It's weird because there's so many cases where, you know, you'd think they would have used that system, but then they didn't. And then, yeah, like, go figure, this random fight in Farampa, they're just like, yeah, here you go, Chaos Frame actually playing a part. I know that there's been a few folks that were saying, you know, like, oh, you don't want to see the Chaos Frame system used and whatever else, you know, it's annoying when it comes up. Personally, I'm of the opinion that it's annoying when it comes up only because it's used so sparingly. Like, if it was more of a regular thing, I'm pretty sure it would be a lot more satisfying. Like, for example, look at March of the Black Queen or OB64 and all that. Like, they make constant use of that system. Wait, how about that? And it is just amazingly satisfying where they do it there. It's like every single fight has something that's affected by it, you know? Like, right here, if there were more moments like this, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty amazing. But unfortunately, yeah, the Chaos Frame moments are very few and far between. So we're gonna go ahead and get out of the way. Again, if you're friends with Galgastani, the skeletons will side with you. If not, they will fight against you. It's a handy little thing. Now let's go ahead and get rid of this guy if we can. Thankfully, octopi are a lot weaker in One Vision, so they don't have Aqua Veil. They can't just suddenly say, "Hey, I used all my friggin' water powers on land because I friggin' puked on myself." That's how that works. So you don't have that situation occurring anymore. Not to mention they can't dump all of their points into one attack, so yeah. Oh, dude. What the actual crap? Okay, I just saw a post here that apparently... Oof. Yeah, apparently save game editors and console modding are illegal in Japan now. Dude, that is a bummer. That's just a dang bummer. Come on, guys. Why you do this? Why does Japan do all this weird stuff for games lately? It's like they have so many cases where they could be doing really amazing stuff with all their different IPs and doing all this, you know, cool things that other places are doing, but instead, it's like at every single turn, they're like, no, let's ruin it somehow. Like, let's microtransaction the hell out of everything. Let's turn everything towards mobile games. Let's do all of that. Or in the case of Konami, to turn everything into friggin' pachinko machines. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bummer. I don't know why they refuse to embrace anything new lately. Actually, I have to say, it's a weird thing that they haven't like come into the 21st century as far as actually updating people on how their projects are going. Like, is anybody else regularly frustrated by this? Like, with any, for example, like any project that Matsuno's been involved in is a good example. It's like there's just no information at all, and then it just suddenly comes out. It's just suddenly there. Like, okay, can I get some news on it? Can we hear something about it? Maybe like know what's coming up? Maybe some of the features or something? Like, no! We've mentioned it, and we've already said too much. But why? Like, we've already said too much. We cannot say any more. We'll somehow ruin everything if we do. It's frustrating. Like okay, FromSoft, the people that made all the Dark Souls games, that made all that kind of stuff. So they've had the Armored Core series kind of stuck in a weird hiatus for like 6 years now. It's a series that's been running for over 20 years now. Like, there's no reason for people not to assume there's going to be a sequel. And yet for the last 2 years, they just keep doing this annoying thing. They're like, we can't show anything yet, we can't confirm anything yet, there's some other mystery project that we're working on, and it's one of the things that we're well known for. Like, dude, just say you're making AC6, or say you're making a Legacy Collection, or something. Why do you have to, like, pull this utter bullcrap there? Because the only reason I get a little bit frustrated by it is because, yeah, it causes actual fights within the community. Like, there's a constant thing where people know it's coming. Like, it's there, it's obvious, and yet there's this regular thing where they've gone and, pulled this teasing and pulling away crap so many times that, yeah, folks just assume it's never... Like, there's a lot of the community that just gets pissed off and starts fights every time anybody mentions a sequel. So, for example, recently, they could have gone and celebrated 2019 with almost anything, but instead they celebrated with an Armored Core poster, which, again, they have not made a sequel in like 6 years now. It's a series that they've pretty heavily punished for even existing. And yeah, not making a sequel, not confirming anything. Like, the most that they confirmed is that last year they had like a 20-year anniversary of the thing, and they put out an album for it, and they're like, okay, there's gonna be something else we want to show you, and it'll be really good, and then we can't tell you anything, though. okay, bye. And then like later on, they said the same thing more or less, like where they're like, okay, we don't have anything to show you yet, but we also do, but we also won't. So okay, bye. It's like, what is that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? It's unnecessary. It's like sequel or no. Just say it. Use your words. Alright, so what we're going to do here, I'm actually just going to make a roadblock with all these guys, and use the crossbows to plink away at everybody while they get close. Hopefully use the chickens to peck away at the octopus. I'm actually not entirely sure how we're going to get through this one, because we don't really have any way to permanently deal with undead units at this point. There we go, just deal with the octopus. Talon dive on you. Yeah, unfortunately we keep missing these super moves. Once we get Rings of Alacrity, this will become a lot easier. It's kind of one of our big issues right now. We need either Rings of Might or Rings of Alacrity. That basically just accuracy or damage ups. Alright, now we can't... It seems like an unnecessary amount of effort to go and knock these guys out over and over. So we're not going to do that one. Alright. I love this theme so much. But anyway, so yeah, same thing as I was talking about earlier with Lost Order. It's like you had a thing, you're working with Platinum, they're kind of known for doing, you know, they're kind of known for pulling obscure series out of the dirt. Known for doing so with some pretty impressive results so far. Like usually they make action games, which is the weird part, like why exactly they were doing a strategy game. Because like they did, they're the ones behind like Bayonetta and behind the friggin' Revengeance, behind what's it? Why am I forgetting? Okay, they had a really good not Terminator. They had a really good Transformers thing a while ago. God, there's one really obvious one that Nier Automata. There we go. That's the one I'm thinking of. It's bugging me that I couldn't remember it. And yeah, so that like they end up going and taking stuff that didn't otherwise have stuff going on for it and tend to make it really, really good. Like, they wanted to... okay, so like Revengeance, for example, they had a more straightforward Metal Gear game for a while, and it apparently sucked, and then they just called them in to, like, we need to make a really good action game out of this. They're like, okay, hang on, like, hold our presumably absurd amounts of espresso. and yeah, then they just proceeded to make one of the best games ever. And, yeah, basically that's been every one of their projects so far. They're like, we have a failing thing. Like, hold on. Let me go ahead and make it amazing for you. Alright, come on, hire this octopus. I guess technically speaking, I don't know if I can even use an octopus in this run. Who knows? Because technically there were no real established rules, were there? I don't know. I'm trying to beat it with griffins, that's the deal. Pretty sure this fight's toast anyway. Alrighty. Yeah, going great, no problems whatsoever, everything's fantastic. Totally taking out all these dragons with cockatrices, no issues whatsoever. Actually, the dragons aren't the problem, it's this friggin' skeletons and gremlins that are giving us issues. So probably what I should be doing is actually going for the back row, taking out the gremlins, taking out the fairy, taking out the dragons, and then taking out the other stuff. Octopi aren't too much of a threat, because their main source of damage is either melee attacks, which we can run away from, due to the fact that they're slow as crap, or their bubble, which I don't think many of them came in with. Should double check that. But yeah, dragons are bringing in the big damage here, as are those guys. Alright, how does a Sporogmos look here? 97? Worth a try. I think if I dedicate 2 to that one, we should be okay, and yeah, there we go. Black Cockatrice, we'll be able to finish them off. We move Maverick back. The whole reason... dang it! They always have one more. They always have one more. Never fails. Okay, he's not in range to subdue anything, though that would be handy. Tell you what. Try to take a bit of a snipe from here. Worth a shot. But he missed, because he sucks. Let's go behind. Get you arbalisting this one. The best case scenario, actually what I probably should be doing more than anything is, yeah, melee attacks on the fairies and stuff. Specials on the dragons. Actually, yeah, go ahead and finish them off if you can. Thank you. Yeah, that way we aren't building up TP on these guys. Yeah, we've got 2 moves before then. Might be able to at least accomplish something. Douchebag's always coming in and taking my bags. Right. Going fantastically, no problems whatsoever. Everything's great. And we will now retreat. Yeah, I think what we're going to do, we're actually going to get a story cockatrice. Yeah, if you didn't know what's going on here, by the way, I'm basically trying to get a cockatrice so that I'd be able to level them normally. Because I think Farampa and the fort fights are the only place you can actually get them. That's fine. That's fine. Moving on. Let's go to Majura. Go hang out in the snow. The perfect time for birds to be there. Birds, 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 birds. Verb is a verb, etc. Hello there, Mr. Dude Guy. Mr. Random Nightman, and then Hector comes in with his sweet armor. Because he should have had better armor the entire time. I don't know why they didn't give it to him. One of those many things. Actually, so one thing that I've been noticing recently, I kind of wonder if this was at some point maybe supposed to have a, I don't know, maybe a re-release of some point. I guess this is kind of the re-release, but if this was supposed to have a different re-release at some point. The reason I ask is because there's a bunch of things, like for example, looking at limited edition. So that's the March of the Black Queen re-release on PS1. There's a lot of features that they ended up implementing in that one. Like, it seems like every time that there was a really, dedicated effort and all that kind of thing, there's a lot of features that they put in that they didn't end up having later on. Like, for example, it's very strange that there's unique sprites and stuff like that for this one, for some of the characters, some of the time. But then they're stuck as that unique sprite, whereas the only time that they actually implemented the fact that you just had a dedicated palette for a unique character instead of just a unique sprite, the only time they implemented that was in limited edition. So, I guess less so should there have been, or less would there have been a re-release and more. I wonder why they didn't do that, because yeah, the palette switching thing, I mean, that's a feature in here. Like, it's a thing that you can do. Like, for example, his costume right now is just a palette swap of the basic knight thing. So if, for example, that was his dedicated color set, and then he ended up switching out every single time that he went to a different class, it would have been possible. They would have just needed to make a few extra sprites, which, I mean, like, it isn't exactly a fast process, but it's not the most difficult thing you can do either. So, considering that they went through the effort of adding in palettes for all kinds of situations, like you may have noticed in this one, if you've gotten to, like, let's say the Lance torturing scene, the fact that his palette ends up remaining at that point is a little bit of an odd duck. Because, yeah, like, it's just palette swap. Everything functions off of one model for them, more or less. They just swap out the colors. It's like you'd think in that case they would have maybe implemented that kind of system. But who knows? Who knows? It would have looked much nicer. Like, after I've seen that, like, it's weird to try and get used to other stuff. Or even get used to stuff I was already seeing as the norm. Because it's such a nice and simple solution to something that the series has had an issue with the whole time. Like, even OB64 coming out after that one, not even that long after, still, like, it didn't implement that feature. So, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird is what I'm getting at. It's weird that they didn't include it. Yeah, these birds are getting kind of kicked in the beak. Luckily, they've got a whole bunch of turns coming up to come in and suddenly turn this around. Spitfire, you've got your poison breath. Go ahead and re-poison the dude man. There you go. This is what I love about this. Like, if you have a bunch of birds, you can just immediately turn fights around. It's pretty great. Pretty great. Get all flappy like, and then you go over here, and then you're all like, hey, Mr. Dude Guy, I would like to, like, friggin', hit you with a beak, and he's like, oh man, please don't hit me with a beak, but then you hit him with a beak. And yeah, that's how that works. That's how that goes! And then you bite this guy, and then they're like, oh man, I really gotta go heal that guy. They're like, hey, but you really don't have to heal that guy, but he's like, I really want to heal that guy. And so they do. And now we actually probably shouldn't have attacked him now that I think about it. Oh well, moving on. Stay dedicated to this whole thing. Okay, Hatch. This might seem like a point where I actually want to go and attack Hatch instead. There we go. He's got 50 points now. That worked out perfectly. You should be in just the right position, maybe. Take a little bit of snipey snipe. Didn't work. Okay. Do you have Sprogmos? No, you have Talon Dive. Tell you what. Go down here. Talon Dive the crap out of this guy. This should distract their healing, because they should ideally go for one of those. I can't tell it. Unfortunately, Hector's health might have fallen just below theirs, percentage-wise. They'll always go for the lowest percentage, despite other factors. They've only got one healer, though. Your hand is unsteady. That's probably because it's friggin' beak and a wing and all that kind of thing. Okay, so we're losing a bunch of dudes. Yeah, their healing's coming up. We're going to need to go ahead and guarantee this. So there we go. Just peck on him. You can go ahead and attack their healer. Give them something to worry about. That leaves us with only a few characters up in front there. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. We can still do this. Talon Dive on you, and yeah, perfect. So he's going to go for the wizard. Have I mentioned that the OST for Vagrant Story is amazing? The OST for this thing is amazing. Also, let's go ahead and switch to this theme. So if you've never heard this, this is the Great Cathedral theme from Vagrant Story. Essentially, I don't know. It always reminds me of what's it? It always reminds me of Deus Ex. But I guess everyone's mileage may vary on that one. Go, plink, plink, plink. We can just get a little bit more here. So no, you're the one with Subdue, unfortunately. You might be able to take a shot at this guy. I doubt it. I doubt that'll land. Okay, whatever. Just take a shot at him then. Thankfully hits. Okay. You're gonna need to go ahead and just get this healer completely distracted then. Yeah, so this'll do a pretty good number. Get him thinking about other things. You go ahead and peck on him. Thankfully, if we get him down to critical, he'll just run. So that's kind of the plan here. Okay, Sprogmos. Let's go ahead and Sprogmos right here. That'll hit him too, but it'll give him a little bit of a wind training, funnily enough. Perfect. Worked out perfectly. Now, okay. Heck. Excellent. Okay, so we got a crit, and he's a little bit farther away. We're probably going to take a few injuries here, though. Come on. You did not need that second crit. That's a bummer. Because he would have been in perfect position to end the fight if they didn't get that second crit right there. Okay. You're unfortunately 2 shots shy, or 2 points shy of tremendous shot. Come on, get him into critical. This douche into critical. Let's get critical. Talon Dive, and of course the 80% misses, because that is just how RNG rolls. Okay, how about you? Yeah, this fight is still winnable, but... Alright. Don't have a finish yet, come on, crit. Please crit. And he... no. He just blocks it. And he dies. Okay. And he's regenerating, because of course he is. And there goes another one. Alright, there's one hope left here. What I need is for Maverick to basically skip attacking for a couple turns, go all the way up there. Jeez. Yeah, he's gonna have to speed all the way up there to Hector, get his move off. Actually make a quick pit stop to bite this guy. There we go, so he'll heal himself now. So yeah, there we go. He's distracted, he'll heal himself. Oh, you suck with that leaden. You suck. Okay, yeah, so leaden just basically means he can't fly anymore. Yeah, all we need is one hit. Come on. I should have picked up Feather Step on him. He actually has a move to counter this, funnily enough. I did pick it up on somebody, but not him. Alright, come on, do some dodging. Come on. Okay, there we go. We moved up there, there's a small... You suck! Okay. Well, that's kind of the end of that, then. So, okay. In that case, let's see. Yeah, this will absolutely not be enough. You would have to be able to get a couple turns immediately. And he can't parry, then that would have potentially been a save right there. That's fine. It's fine. What I should have done is come in with more Griffins. That's what we're going to do. I don't know how far back. Okay, no wait, this is fine. This is fine, this is fine. What kind of skills did this one come in with? Just Talon Dive? Whatever. Let's give you that ring. Skill-wise, is there anything new for you to learn? Feather Step, yeah. Definitely have Feather Step on you. Probably... I want to say probably get rid of Counter Hit for now. Or just Poison Ward, for that matter. Alright. Let's do this thing. Alright, so those two didn't really function too well, however, sidearm users will. Let's get them back here. We need more Griffins. Hopefully more Griffin... Actually, no, we actually do want a couple Cockatrices in here. Okay, nobody that's on their last life, for sure. So unfortunately, Viewfighter, despite being the one with Stone Breath, I can't really afford having them in here. Let's get you in here, I think. No, let's have them stacked in the other direction. That should do. No, wait, we're still missing one. So... yeah, let's get Pixie in here. There we go. And that's why it's called the Danger Zone run. These guys kind of have to pull it off in one go, or they are dead. Let's go maximum movement this time. Just go all overdrive with it. I would have Danger Zone playing this entire time if I actually could, but unfortunately then I would probably get into trouble, and I don't want to do that. I'm not one for wanting to get in trouble all the time. It's just not a very fun thing. I don't know why some folks get off on that, because it doesn't really make sense if you think about it. It's like, hey, people are less likely to cooperate with you on anything. Like, yeah, that sounds like what I want to do. But why? Alright. Let's go ahead and get that sucker over there. Some delicious water. Gotta consume like 6 friggin' large jugs of that crap a day. Nifty. I say that crap like I don't like water or something. Even though I always do drink water. It's good. It's all healthy-like. Man. Come to think of it, you know what? It probably would help if I actually updated their levels, huh? Because they've been at level 10 for a very long time. It's probably about time I put them up to level 12. Kind of a massive disadvantage if you think about it. That's probably why they can't dodge. Okay, so yeah, forget Hector for the moment. We are gonna fly into the back row and eat us some dang holy people. So fly to the back, take out their casters, take out their archers, take out their healers, and yeah. Take out their support elements before dealing with the front row. That's how we should have been doing it from the very start. Especially with this check with our gravity flux. Get all of your minor damage and leaden out of here, lady. We need that for stuff. Like damage. Alright, so yeah, they're gonna go ahead and harass him. So I've mentioned this several times as far as these guys, like just skirmishers in general being a thing that you want to use in OV. This is kind of why. The whole deal with skirmishers is they take they're supposed to be just off to the side, like just able to do enough damage to kind of cause a bother, but generally speaking more focused on defense so that they're not getting taken out themselves. Usually they're relatively light, evasive, but just enough defense to not always be the target. So either way, that's why they're always there with sidearms and everything, and they're very, 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 very useful. We should should use them all the time because they're so handy. Probably should have gone for a Talon Dive there, but whatever. Take out Mr. Priestman, not really first so much as now-ish. You has Poison Breath. Okay. Poison Breath would be useful here. So let's poison you, just to do a little bit of damage over time. Didn't work. Alright, you've got a Talon Dive ready to go, so let's get you in his back hole. Back hole! Alright. Let's get you going in here for another Talon Dive. Hopefully that'll finish him off. Wow, and he missed. Of course he missed. Why wouldn't he miss? They always miss. They love to miss. Missing is the best. Okay, get her taken down. I'm actually not going to finish her off, because he will prioritize healing her. Let's go ahead and peck on you. Probably should have finished her off on account of, that, but oh well. We'll do as we do. And pew pew pew, goodbye chicken. And there we go. So now the healer is still left on heal. Meanwhile, this chick is going to be now going to be currently unhealed as well. So a couple extra attacks, but it's worthwhile. Now Spitfire here, they're not going to last too much longer. They're gonna pass out anyway, but for the sake of buying time, I'm gonna move them back here. At least they can last a little longer. We're not gonna be in as much of a push to get them taken down. Okay, next, let's have you go take out this chick, because you don't have any good shots on the healer. Go, she's gone. Should be able to finish him off. Okay. Yeah, let's get you in for support as well. 2. You're probably going to have some pretty piss-poor accuracy. Yeah, 19 on him, 34, but at really low odds. I'll take it, though. Peck, and good. Okay. Yeah, definitely don't learn Thunder Flare. That'll just be useful for money later. We're gonna have to buy some more rings and all that kind of crap. Let's get you over here, peck him, and good. Healing element is entirely gone. Now we can focus on Hector, who is conveniently poisoned, so yeah, this should be no problem going forward. Aside from item users, which I don't think they have anyone up in the front who's an item user. Yeah, I knew he would pass out, but whatever. Skill-wise, yeah, nothing. Yeah, they don't have any dedicated item users, so I'm not too worried. And then dive. Get dived. Peck. Peck. It's what birds do. It's what they love to do. They love to peck. Okay. Yeah, so he's gonna waste his finisher on somebody with almost no health left. I always love when the AI does that. Like, I think my favorite one was in vanilla. There was somebody that went for like a 400 damage attack on somebody that had 2 health. Okay. Come on. Link away Mr. Hector so that we can get out of here. And then they have a little bit of a chatty chat, and he takes out Linkus. Oh well. That's fine. We're actually still doing pretty okay here. I just noticed I made a mistake. He's actually all boxed in right now. That's fine. Let's go for a Sprogmos. That'll hit him. At least it has a chance to, but it completely missed. Oh well. But Iceman, you've got a Sprogmos in you, don't you? Sure do. Because he's only a little bit of damage away from being finished off, that's why I'm going for these. Okay, you go for the Archer. Now, that would be a bum deal right now if we ended up taking some injuries because of that. Still boxed in. I need that Knight or that Amazon to move. There's another one gone. I mean, we still have the skirms here, so that's fine. Ooh. Actually, funnily enough, I was trying to target him. Funnily enough, the game does not count it as using Chariot if you essentially just reset your turn. Presumably because, yeah, like you end up selecting the wrong guy or something. Like in that case. So, thankfully it's pretty forgiving as far as that goes. Right. So if we could maybe not let them get away with every single one of these things, please. Thank you. 5. There we go. Done deal. The tide turns, even though they probably could have still won that fight if he didn't leave, but not going to complain. But what I should be doing right now, so we're going to save it, we're going to do the castle fight as kind of the last bit here. But what we're going to do, let's see. Let me get the hex code for 12. So 12 is apparently C? Okay. So what we need to do, go to this code thing here, go down over... This is not what I wanted. Okay, hang on. Where is your code? So enable cheats, go to cheats, and what do we got down here? Hopefully nothing's activated. Because what I need is to get everybody to level 12. Again, that same thing as before, where it's just weird jankiness as far as cheating in units that shouldn't be there. Let's go ahead and add a cheat file, and change their A over here to a C. Should do it. Then we go to continue, now we go to cheats, now we go all the way to the bottom. By the way, there was somebody that had asked last time to share what a lot of these cheats do, and, you know, actually share what they are. So I will be doing that at some point. I haven't had a chance to yet. They are all still 10. Right. Let's go ahead and save it. And what do we got? Are they 12 now? Yes, they are all now 12. Perfect. Let me make sure that the other thing isn't activated. No, it isn't. Okay, perfect. Let's go into Brigantes. And the one that gives a massive flying advantage. Let's swap out our chickens as well, because this one will be relatively easy. So there we go. Let's get them suckers in here. Let's get these two replaced. And we're good to go. Yeah, this one should be easy as hell. It's just old man winner up here, Mr. Kronoros. Akronoros, whatever. Then we just fly all up on their face and everything. It's good stuff. Actually, you know what? What am I doing this for? I need faster music. Okay. Need that dang interceptor theme. There we are. Stick that crap on loop. Man, I love the same. I love it way too much. I probably shouldn't be doing these things while tired, to be completely frank. A little bit on the brain dead side, but there really wasn't a whole lot I could accomplish during this same time, so... What can you do for a Klondike bar? Probably go to the store and buy one. I mean, currently I'm way the hell too broke for a Klondike bar, but... Oh well. Oh well. Suppose one day there may be Klondike bars. And it's such a weird feeling. Like, to ever have... So, I don't know how many people this applies to. But to ever have been in a type of situation where, like, at one point you had money to burn at all times, and then it's kind of wind up in a situation where, you know, that is, like, blatantly not the case. And I mean specifically, like, back when my business was more or less properly functional and everything else, it was one of those cases where, honestly, in a lot of cases could kind of just get away with, well, more or less taking financial risks every now and then, and would, you know, when they would pay off, everything would be comfortable for a few months, and, you know, when an investment wouldn't pay off, you know, it still would have been something that was good enough that it lasted a good while. I miss that feeling. It was a good feeling. Definitely recommend doing, like, having money. Money having is a good thing. Kind of a downer. Definitely, for sure. Yeah, to kind of go from that, like, to the point where you could more or less just work a few hours a day, everything was all well and solid, and then my entire market there crashes, and there's no real way to adapt it to anything else. There's no functional way to do it anyway. And then, yeah, just wind up in a situation where suddenly rent day is terrifying. Not great. Not great. Okay, now, can you go ahead and fight this guy? Nom. They're gonna have one team going on their healer, another one going on their head guy, and should be no problem. Actually, I want to say head guy must have actually come in with some armor. Looking at it. Don't know for sure though. This'll definitely miss. Yep. I thought it might. And was correct. How about that? But yeah, I think after this fight we're probably gonna call it, because, you know, have to go deal with other things today. The usual. So there's that. Okay. Apparently no one that I want to get hit ever wants to get hit. Fair enough. And dive, and one more attack should finish it off. Finish it! Yeah, 90% basically means it's going to miss 100% of the time. And glory to nothing. You did. You did! Alright, there we go. And then we got one last fight against Mr. Hector, so we're going to give this one go. Gonna give this one concerted go, and then if that doesn't work out, then bummer. Bummer. Yeah, his conversation there in a nutshell, like, oh man, sure would be a shame somebody came for all those dudes we have here, and I'm totally not backstabbing anyone. Like, sure would be nuts if somebody came for all those massive piles of reinforcements. Just saying, like, there's really nothing we could do about that. Because we'd all be dead at that point. You know, you'd think we would just kind of give in, maybe, and obviously we'd have a little bit of a, you know, honor issue going on there. Probably would have a bit of an issue getting on in society after that, but I don't know. I mean, I think if you're part of the group that overthrows a dictator and you actually succeed, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to write yourself a pretty good story at that point. I mean, feels like rolling the dice on that is a little bit better of a result than winding up dead, but this guy thought otherwise, I suppose. Though, then again, I suppose it's also one of those cases where maybe they were afraid of other people turning. Who knows? Like maybe they don't have enough sway to actually turn everybody over to their side or something. Alright, all these TKs coming in, being all scary and crap. Go for this Berserker. Go for that back row once again. Get at least one character, hopefully coming in for, what's it? Going in for one of those poison breaths. Just go for all them squishies. Light at that back row, let the skirms take the damage. It's a good plan. Solid plan with totally nothing that can go wrong ever. You know what? Actually, that's worth it. For some reason... Oh no, his defense didn't go down, our levels went up. That's what it was. See, I wish that there was an option for just having all classes level at once. Because for that, I'd be... Honestly, that I would be completely okay with. It's like, even classes that didn't participate end up getting levels, where they all get an exactly even amount of experience. It would be nice. It would be nice. I've actually seen a code for that requested by several people, but I don't know if it's even possible. And they're still doing the same damage. We are unfortunately taking a ton of hits here. You're Petro. Okay, good. Petrify. If he gets petrified here, we're pretty much off to the races. And we're not off to the races. God dang. Those Poison Clouds hit crazy. So yeah, if you didn't think that the damage on Poison Cloud was friggin' brutal, just like, use a TK against monster units. It lets them be more or less a low-key Dracoon in a lot of cases. They will just friggin' own face like nobody's business. Alright. Poison him, please. Succeed. As much as I'd like to try that again, I need you to do a Talon Dive on this guy. Hopefully get him finished off or stunned or something. Alright, whatever. He's boxed in, he's stunned. That'll have to do for now. So we go after their casters. Casters, healer, and then him. Unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get that poison proc, so not exactly as solid as it was before. I mean, even basic casting abilities will completely tear through these guys. Okay. I'm gonna need you to Sparagmos Albion. Get something. Alright, continue pecking out the casters, I think. As much as the archers are scary, honestly, I think it's not really going to be worth it to go after them. Might be worth starting to peck at him, though. Here. Yeah, we're just kind of buying time, more or less, with going after the casters. Okay, end her. Take that loot before anybody else does. Not that we really need it, but it's nice to have. Yeah, I definitely want him to learn Tornado, but not exactly the form of Tornado that he needs to get. He'll get Hurricane later. It's better! It's like Tornado, but it's not Tornado. It's all bigger and it comes from the ocean. It's nice. I'm not sure if that's what she said. Actually, there have been a lot of memes coming out lately of, like, apparently a bunch of soccer moms wanting to go see Aquaman. Like, yeah, no, we're going to see it for the plot. And it's just like a soccer mom staring at the dude's abs. Like, yeah, makes sense. Seems legit. Can definitely see that happening. Actually, there was it was really uncomfortable growing up whenever. So I had my nutcase of a mother there, but anytime the friggin' football came on, they would just stop and stare. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, oh, you know, they just wear tight pants so they can show off their butts. I'm like, okay, that's not something anyone wants to hear their mother say, but okay. Whatever you say. Okay, Talon Dive. I need to save that. I have a feeling he's not going to be able to, though. And do you have Sparagmus? Yes. It's one of their only ways to attack diagonally for the moment. You got Poison Breath? Okay, Poison Breath. Nah, that's perfect right here. If he gets a poison off, we basically won it. Yeah, there we go. Now it's just a matter of time. So, it's in the bag at this point. Mr. Hector is done. I see your plan. You're totally gonna definitely, you know, get all these people in here. Totally all these people's in here. I don't think we're gonna end up recruiting Yunin, though, for reasons that should be relatively obvious right now. You know, as long as we have one guy running far away. Not that there's really any particular reason to do so now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think he's going to use an antidote. None of these guys should have items. Hector's team was never particularly item-heavy. Something about this rings false, gee. I wonder. This dude is dying while giving really obviously useful information? No, that seems completely legit. It's almost like he wants to be a traitor or something, and then he officially hands over the castle to his dad, who then officially conveniently falls off a friggin' rampart or some crap. They surrendered a castle, and there's Yunin. How could they be? And then we get a free Yunin out of it. It's like, hey, I'm a Yunin. But we're never gonna use him. Yeah, I still haven't seen any plot griffins, by the way, so I guess we'll see one of those at some point. I want to say Reason Way might have one? Actually, funnily enough, there's I believe there's a zombie cockatrice that should be possible to get somewhere. Not 100% certain, but I think so. There we go. So we're up to 7 griffins and down to 5 cockatrices at this point. And again, they still can't level. Anyway, so that'll be that for today. I'm gonna get going to go do other things, so I will see y'all later. Have a good one. Take care. Sorry for a bit of a tired one today, but such is life. Anyway, we'll be continuing on with the OB64 run tomorrow. So, see you then. Take care. Bye.